let's talk about work, whatever that means for you. Maybe it's spreadsheets, maybe it's videos, maybe it's writing, coding, whatever it is. We all spend so much time on our computers these days, right? And sometimes it's just hard. You get stuck. You need an idea. Maybe you just want someone that you can bounce ideas off of or give you that nudge in the right direction when you need it. But what if you could have that? Not another app to learn, not another notification to ignore, but a real partner right there on your computer, ready to help you get things done. Sounds interesting, right? This is Google AI Studio. Now forget everything you think you know about AI tools for a second. This isn't just a chatbot or a fancy image generator. This is about something more practical. Think of it as your AI productivity partner. AI Studio is designed to be this intelligent layer that sits on top of whatever you're doing on your computer. It watches your screen, and because it can actually see what you're doing, it can help you with a lot of different things. And now you might be thinking, this sounds interesting, but how can this actually help me day to day? Now, one of the more practical uses I see for most people is that it can help you learn new software, like we'll see in just a second. But it's way bigger than that. It's about having an AI that can coach you through a task, brainstorm ideas with you, give you feedback, help you refine your work. Pretty much anything you would do if you were working side by side with somebody or even on a Zoom call. Now, to make this a little more concrete, let's take a look at what I would call a somewhat common example. Creating a graph in Excel. For me personally, I use Excel a lot, but I rarely need a graph. So when I do need a graph in my sheet, I usually have to go back and relearn how to actually put a graph in the spreadsheet. Now, here is some sample sales data. Now, let's say this is for a job that I work at, and my boss wants to see some visuals. He's a very visual person. And looking at a spreadsheet like this isn't very helpful. Picture's worth 1,000 words. So we want to put some graphs in here to help illustrate the sales performance of this business. But it's been a while since I've inserted a graph or graphed any kind of information in Excel. So we're going to come to Google AI Studio, and we're going to see if Gemini can help us actually insert this graph. So to do this, I'm going to split the screens here. And we're just going to zoom out a little bit so that Gemini can see everything that I have going on the screen here. Now, if you've never been inside Google AI Studio, this is essentially a developer platform for people that are creating apps and they want to incorporate Gemini into their apps. But this is completely free to use and anybody can get in and access this. We want to go to Stream Realtime. And what this essentially allows us to do is talk to Gemini, show Gemini so we can give it access to our camera, or we can share our screen with Gemini. And this is the one we're going to choose. So we'll choose the Excel workbook that we're working in right here. Click share.
Okay, so the user is sharing an Excel workbook. It sounds like they are about to show how to share an Excel file. Are you interested in that?
So as you can see, Gemini's already at work trying to help us here. So no, Gemini, actually, I have this sales data over here and I want to create a graph, but I can't really remember how to create graphs in Excel. So there are a couple different things that I'd like to do, but I'd like to get your opinion first. With the sales data, what could I use a graph for to visually represent some of the data here?
Okay, you'd like to create a graph from the sales data in your Excel sheet, but are unsure where to begin. You want to know what kind of graph you could use to visually represent this data. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Based on your sales data, a bar graph could be a good option to visualize the total sales for each category of products. Would you like to know how to create that?
Before we create that, I'm curious to know why a bar graph would be better than any other graph type.
Certainly, a bar graph is suitable for comparing the total sales of different categories because it clearly shows the magnitude of each category's sales through the height of the bars, making it easy to compare the values. Would you like me to proceed with the explanation on how to create a bar graph?
So right out of the gate, like this is pretty impressive. We can use this as a collaborative tool. Maybe I'm coming in here and I don't even know what kind of graph to create. And obviously Gemini can provide us with an explanation of why a bar graph would be good. And we could even probably dig in deeper as to why it shows by category. But I feel like this is a pretty easy example. It makes sense to me. So let's just continue moving forward and see if Gemini can actually help us create this graph step by step. Yeah, I'd really like a good step-by-step on how to actually create a graph. So as I'm doing the things over in Excel, I want you to kind of guide me step-by-step to do that graph for the different categories.
Certainly. Let's start with the first step. Select the cells containing the category names, which are in column C, and the corresponding total sales values, which are in column O. Are you able to do that? That is not quite right. Instead, select the category names Electronics, Sporting Goods, Furniture, and Home Appliances located in cells C2 to C11. Do you need any help with that?
I'm not going to lie. I think Gemini's a little confused because C is my product, not my product category. Let's just play this out, see how it goes. So I think what you're trying to get me to select is actually this section right here, which is actually cells M and N, not C and O.
You're right, my apologies. The cells you should select are M2 to M5 for the categories and N2 to N5 for the totals. Could you try selecting those?
All right, yes, we're selected.
Great. Now, go to the Insert tab in the Excel ribbon. Can you find that?
Okay, I'm here.
All right, now in the Insert tab, look for the Chart section and select the Insert Column or Bar Chart option. It is usually represented with a small column chart icon. Can you see it?
Yes, do I click it?
Yes, please click the Insert Column or Bar Chart option. Then, choose the Clustered Column option from the drop-down menu that appears.
Okay, cool, like that.
Great job. You should now see a bar graph representing your sales data. Does it look like it is representing it well?
Yeah, it appears to be representing the data well. One thing I want to be able to change the chart title, and then I'd also like to have maybe labels on each of the bars so I can see what the actual total is for each category.
Certainly. First, click on the chart title area. Then you can type in a new title for your graph. For the labels, click on the graph, then go to the Chart Design tab, click on Add Chart Element, then go to Data Labels and choose the placement you'd like for the labels.
So that's Stream in real time, and as you can see, there was a little bit of hallucinations going on where Gemini was trying to get me to select incorrect data, and after I actually corrected it, it kind of got right back on track. This isn't uncommon with any different AI tool that we're using, but once it did get back on track, it very easily guided us step by step through that process of actually creating a graph. Now, this is obviously a very simple example, but it just goes to show the possibility of using AI as a tool that can help us in our day-to-day lives. Now, imagine using something like AI Studio, not just for Excel, but for brainstorming ideas for your next video script, or getting AI coaching on your video editing in Premiere Pro, or even practicing interview questions for your next big job interview. It's really about having this AI partner across all of your tasks that's there whenever you need it. Now, this is a somewhat newer way that we can be using AI than most people probably think of. Not just something separate that does work for you, but something that's integrated, something that works with you to help you achieve your goals, whatever that might be. I personally think this is some pretty exciting stuff, and I'm really interested to see how far this actually goes. But I want to know what you think. How would you use Google AI Studio? What tasks are you tackling where an AI partner could be a game changer for you? Let me know down in the comments, because seriously, I do want to hear your ideas. And if you're as intrigued by AI tools as I am, hit that subscribe button for more on how AI is changing the way that we work and live. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.